like dragons? Do you like controlling the board with dragons? Do you like doing damage with dragons? Do you like Ysera and having multiple copies of Ysera Awakens in your hand? Well then, this deck is probably the deck for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. I am Darkseeker, and we're going to be looking at Dragon Priest today. This is Dragon Priest in the Old Gods meta. Oh, but where are all of the Old Gods cards? No, there aren't many in this deck. I mean, Shifting Shade is a card that we've seen with the Old Gods expansion, but apart from that, I'd say I think the majority of these other cards are cards that we have seen prior to the Old Gods expansion. So what does that say about Dragon Priest? That, well, it's pretty resilient in the face of the Old Gods meta. So what have we got in this deck? Well, we've got dragons, Ysera, Nefarian. Those are your two sort of pillars, if you will, in this deck, and you've got these other dragon synergy cards that play off of your dragons. So you've got cards like Twilight Whelp, Wormrest Agent, Blackwing Technician, Twilight Guardian, Blackwing Corruptor. These are all cards that require dragons to be in your hand so that their respective effects can be activated. You've also got cards like Holy Nova, which lets you control the board, particularly good against aggro decks. Brand Bronzebeard to double your Battlecry effects, and there are a few Battlecry minions in this deck, so that's pretty useful. And you run one copy of Entomb. Now, I've thought about this. Entomb is such a powerful card. It neutralizes big threats, especially big threats played by control decks, so Paladins that play Tyrion, for example. It's just tremendous at neutralizing those massive bombs that they play. So, should this deck run two copies of Entomb? I think one is fine, given the fact that you run Ysera, you run Sylvanas, Nefarian. I think there are enough threats in this deck that you can put pressure on your opponent. Let's have a look at a couple of games and see how this deck fares against the Old Gods. Going up against... another priest. Okay. Well, there's a dragon. That's pretty good. And you're always looking for a dragon in that opening hand to essentially activate these other cards that rely on dragons. So because we have the Twilight Whelp in hand, or now the Twilight Guardian in hand, the Wormrest Agent now becomes active. It gets that extra buff. So the question here is, do we play the Whelp or the Agent? That's the question. The Wormrest Agent is an on-curve play, and we're going up against another Dragon Priest, and I'll be fascinated to see what kind of cards this priest runs. Well, drawing... Okay, so Curator drawing him a card there, that's interesting. And another Twilight Whelp. Board presence already built up for the priest. Well, you can get a clean kill. Question is, do I heal here? Do I heal here, or do I just play my Technician? You just play the Technician. I mean, my Wormrest Agent is dying anyway, regardless of whether I heal it, so that's fine. Oh, he has his own. Okay, so we trade in. We play our own taunt there. 3/6 is pretty good. It's protecting my Blackwing Technician. So let's see what he does. How is he going to get through that taunt? 6 health. Wonder if he runs Shadow Word Pain. Oh, Toad. Okay. So we got the Toad off of the Curator. That's interesting. I guess it's early game presence, right? He chooses to heal. That's fine. Oh, there's Entomb. Doesn't do anything for us just yet. Power word shield, but the question is, which minion do I want to shield up? Oh, and that's so good. Shadow word pain. Question is, which one do we kill? Oh, we kill his technician. And he concedes. Oh well, that was straightforward. Well, clearly, the rest of his hand must have been rubbish. Okay, heading into this next game, and it's a Paladin. Now, what's interesting about this hand is we've got 2 dragons in hand, so the Twilight Whelp is going to be activated by my Guardian, my Twilight Guardian. Okay, so we have a 2/3 on board. It's like having a zombie chow on board, without the drawback of giving your opponent health. Question now is, do I just want to keep that Twilight Whelp in hand so I can activate the Twilight Guardian next turn with the coin? Maybe I do, or maybe I don't want to. It's difficult decisions to make, so I'm just going to heal him. Pass. What kind of Paladin is this? Is it the Enzoth Paladin? Well, one thing's for sure, with standard mode, it's certainly not going to be Secrets Paladin. Thank God that no longer exists. This looks like the Divine Shield Paladin, because he's just played the Charging Horsey with the shield. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a quicker game than playing against Enzoth Paladin, that's for sure. But anyway, we get a good trade there. And just for board presence now, because if this is the Divine Shield Paladin, I have a feeling this game is going to go a bit faster. Yeah, there's a Knife Juggler, yeah. Oh gosh, Tidehunter, yeah. This is going to be... oh god, that was lucky. Yeah, this is going to be a much faster game, so we need to pick up the pace here. Shadow Word Pain is really good here. Really, really good. Such a good card against these more aggressive decks. It can really stop them in their tracks when you take out a key minion. Healing is good. He can't kill my 2/3 with his 2/1. So what else does he have? Oh, he can now. Abusive Sergeants. This is a very aggressive Paladin. Selfless Hero. Okay, Twisted Organ, sure. So it is definitely the Divine Shield Paladin. We don't have our Holy Nova, so we're just going to steal his 2/1. Bet he wasn't expecting that. Coin Cabal Shadow Priest. Fantastic. Cabal Shadow Priest, so good against aggressive decks. Another card that can stop them in their tracks if they're not careful. Consecration, though, really good for him. He avoids me giving one of my minions Divine Shield there. That's really good. But we have a dragon now in hand to activate the Twilight Guardian. So that's really good. And that's one of the problems with this priest deck. You can find yourself sometimes in a situation where you don't have the dragons in hand to activate, to activate your other cards, and as a result, you can just end up passing turn to turn without doing much, or playing cards without their dragon synergy, and that can be very awkward. And Divine Favor, speaking of awkward, Divine Favor, so good for him. Refilled his hand. Oh yeah, refill his hand with more cards. Great, he's tapping now. Okay. Oh, there's the Holy Nova. Where have you been hiding? Right, so... I guess we get rid of the Divine Shield. That's a priority. And we just clear the board. Sure. There's a 10 health dragon on that board. He would need equality or Keeper of Alderman, perhaps. So even with his tapping there, what does he have to deal with this? Charging Horsey, sure. The Rallying Blade, oh, that's pretty good. Oh. Okay, not bad at all. Not bad, but possibly not good enough. Because I can heal. And we'll play 2 technicians. 2 3/5s on the board, and we've got to be careful about overcommitting, just in case he runs board clears. We're seeing consecration, but equality would be bad. You know, but the Divine Shield Paladin deck, does it run while Pyromancer equality? Clearly not, because that's another concede. Well played, yeah. Okay, heading into our next game, and it's a mage. Now, what kind of a mage? That's the question. Tempo mage, freeze mage, control grinder style mage. And this is a problem. We've only got the Twilight Whelp in hand and no other dragons to activate it. So this is a problem I alluded to earlier. You can sometimes just find yourself doing nothing for several turns because you don't have the synergy. Well, at least I can play the Technician, right? It could be that I just keep the Twilight Whelp in hand and use that to activate the Blackwing Corruptor on turn 5. Flame Waker there. Without a spell. Interesting. Oh well. Shadow Word Pain, so good. So very, very good. And there's a dragon. Nefarian. Beautiful. So our Twilight Whelp gets activated, and we have a Blackwing Technician with 7 health. Okay, do my eyes deceive me? He's just polymorphed a Blackwing Technician. Well, I'm okay with that. That's one less polymorph to deal with. That means that Ysera, Nefarian, Sylvanas, that they are safer now because one polymorph has been used. Well, if one has been used, there's probably one more in this deck. So let's see if we can bait out a second polymorph. Roaring Torch, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so we're going to keep the Blackwing Corruptor in hand. We're going to use the burst damage from the Corruptor to actually kill something. It's wasted on his face. And here are some potential targets for the Blackwing Corruptor. Well, maybe not. I think Shadow Word Death and the Torch, much cleaner, right? Much cleaner. Turn 9 will soon be upon us, and Nefarian will soon come down. I love Nefarian, and this deck gives me an excuse to play him. You don't see much of Nefarian anymore in the Old Gods meta. Okay, so the card draw is continuing. So this is a tempo mage that is going to look to burst me down at some point. Now, this is a waste of Bran, but I'm playing Bran for the body here. Mainly because if Bran survives as well, I'll get incredible value on Nefarian next turn. So let's see. He's probably going to invest... Okay, he's going to take down the 5/4, represents more damage. Oh, look, and Bran goes too. So, double Fireball has been used. I'm okay with that. Ooh, Pyroblast. Yeah, Nefarian says the mage needs to be more careful. Well, there's Antonidas. I'm happy that he used the double fireball because it means that Nefarian is probably safer, but actually he's going to use Antonidas to draw more fireballs. So okay, that doesn't change anything now. He's now got 2 fireballs back in his hand because of Antonidas, so that's a problem. But is it a problem? Oh, 3 fireballs, okay. The coin too. Is it a problem? No, it's not. Nefarian, Pyroblast, goodbye. And if there was any doubt, I had another Pyroblast in hand. Wow, so good old Nefarian giving me double Pyroblast. Absolutely insane. That's why I love that card. Well, there's the Dragon Priest deck, ladies and gentlemen. Not playing many of the Old Gods cards in this deck, apart from Shifting Shade. Well worth a try, a really fun deck to play. The Dragon synergy is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. So give it a go, see how you find it, and maybe leave a comment or two under the video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.